Merger not happening. Good evening, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching as always. There's been a lot of rumours online about a potential merger of Reform UK with Restore Britain. And I want to give my opinions on this, and I also want to highlight a few other issues regarding Restore Britain on why it is not likely, at least in the immediate to medium future. So we're going to get into this first of all. Now, all of this chatter online seems to be focused around a AI created image that's doing the rounds on Facebook, X, Instagram, whatnot. And this is the image. And that seems to be what it's all based on, this particular image. And I don't think it's likely. If you look at current polling for Restore Britain, they're already on 8% in the national polls, doing particularly well in the east, where Great Yarmouth is, so no surprises there, in Wales and in the East Midlands as well. So I don't think it's likely, but I would ask anybody who's in Advance UK, Reform UK or Restore Britain, at this point would you even want it? I wouldn't, and I'll get into that later in the video. There's also another story that's been floated by the BBC regarding former Reform UK MP James McMurdo. Basically they're hinting that Farage will let him back into the fold. And this is a Reform UK supporter, Louis Cook or Lewis Cook, saying that he wants it to happen. I don't think this is likely either. James seems to be a good MP. He seems to be well liked in Thurrock, where his constituency is. He's actually quite popular with regular people like me as well, and he's hedging his bets currently between supporting Reform UK and his ground game that got him elected, which was Reform UK, but also very, very complimentary of Rupert Lowe as well. He could actually defect to Restore Britain. I think that's more likely. Now, as to the origin of this particular story, I think it's the BBC running cover. They're essentially in damage limitation mode because the receptacle for the containment right-wing vote was meant to be Reform UK. Nobody else, not Advance and not Restore Britain. And I think this is what this image that I put up earlier is about as well. It's about damage limitation. If you ask me, the rise of Restore Britain has shattered expectations, both within the party itself and in the wider public, and the establishment is running scared. And I think these types of posts on interwebs regarding James McMurdo and a potential merger is to try to stem the bleeding out of support, the downward spiral on the polls, and also to try to stop people leaving Reform UK as paid up members or subscribers, depending on how you view it. These are just my opinions, your mileage may vary. Now, there was a recent interview where Julia Hartley-Brewer actually mentioned Rupert Lowe and Restore Britain to Farage. He looks defeated, he looks deflated, and he doesn't look particularly well. And I say this as somebody with a Reform UK MP. I think she's the best MP in Reform UK, Sarah Poachin, and somebody who's not got an election for 2 years. So I can say all of this, and it's neither here nor there for me currently. So I'm going to play the clip.
Not responsible language.
You don't think that there's an appeal there because it's online? People are applauding and very much supportive of it.
A lot of those are very new accounts, which is really interesting. So you know, this has been taken online as an opportunity by some to try and disrupt as much as they possibly can. And there is an online community that literally want to fight a war against every Islamic person in this country. I want to fight a war against Islamism and the dangers that that brings. So policy differences have got wider in the last 2 weeks, not narrower.
So from the horse's mouth himself, Farage is saying it's unlikely and it's not going to happen. Lest we forget what was the reason why he was booted from Reform UK to begin with. It wasn't a conflict of egos. It wasn't that Rupert Lowe wanted to be leader. It was over a hardline approach to particular policy issues like mass deportations of foreign criminals and those implicitly involved in the grooming gangs up and down the country. Never forget, It happened far sooner than people will admit, as early as the 1950s, and it is still happening now. And it's not just little girls, it's also little boys. So let's put that to bed. But we'll end this here. There also seems to be a bit of a conflict of vision between Restore Britain and Reform UK. Reform UK is very much catering to the Westminster bubble and the political elites. They like to gatekeep any person that they deem unworthy out of the political discourse, and they've got a very particular view of people that are not in the South East or London.
This person the agency are sending us, she's from the north.
They've also got a very particular view of Northerners as well.
Mummy, what's she saying?
I don't know, Chloe, but she sounds awfully angry, so don't provoke her in any way.
And this is the view that Nigel Farage is catering to. So never forget that. He doesn't want real people making difference for the country. He doesn't want working class people anywhere in the country, anywhere near the party, anywhere near policy decisions. He wants you leafleting. He wants you, maybe, if you're a good boy or a good girl, being a local councillor, and that's pretty much it. He doesn't want your input or ideas, in my view. Now, comment below, obviously, if you think I'm mistaken, if you think I'm being overly harsh. This is an open debate and this is an open platform. Obviously, I want everybody to contribute. Now, with Restore Britain, they seem to be a bit more open-minded to who they're going to let into the party. And literally, if you're a member, you can actually vote on policy decisions on their website. I would encourage people who are thinking about maybe talking to friends and family about Restore, show them the website, let the website do the heavy lifting and try to keep out of it as much as possible. You don't want to get into intense political debates, especially with people that may be friends or family, and you want to keep that out of politics. Just mention the website and leave it there. Then finally, you've also got the issue regarding Elon Musk. Why did he back out of financing Farage or putting any contributions into Reform UK? Is it when they met up, he didn't like what he's seen? Or is it, I've heard it was actually after he had a meeting with one of the co-leaders of AFD on a space on Twitter, that she clued him up to Farage being quite frosty towards the policies of remigration or mass deportations when they sat in the European Parliament together. So it could be that, which is why Farage is called weak sauce by Elon Musk. As I say, a week is a long time in politics. There's everything to play for. The question I posed earlier in the video regarding why would anybody on the right of centre want a merger at this point, it's because the Overton window, the political discourse on the right, keeps on shifting rightward. And that is because there is somebody to the right of Farage and co, and is forcing them to actually skew rightwards rather than trying to cater to the centre ground.
I see this as an absolute win.
This is a positive. We're talking about things in the public discourse now. We weren't even talking about last year. This can only be an absolute win, and I would encourage everyone to think along those lines. Now, if you like this video, make me aware, like and subscribe, and if you think I've made good points, let me know. If you think, Damien, you're talking out the back of your head, again, make me aware. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.